Hello everyone, it's Tedious here, back with another storyline video on the channel and the last Season 7 storyline video on the channel. Until obviously I do the live event of the Operation Skyfire live stream, which will be very, very exciting, still in Season 7, but you know, very close to the end of it. We are now getting so many leaks, getting so many teasers. We got the Mari one a little bit ago, link to that in the iCard right now, and yeah. Today we're just going to be going over everything you need to know about the storyline and Season 7 before Skyfire and before everything goes down with the mothership's explosion, the crash site, to the possible cube location, everything to do with the storyline, just the entire recap of Season 7 and everything that's led up to this. Kind of like my week recap videos, but just focused on story and a massive one over the course of the entire season. So if you enjoyed this video, as always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment below on your thoughts of Season 7. People know it's my favourite of Chapter 2, but there's many varied opinions, and a lot of people think this season is trash because of UFOs. I personally think they're completely fine. I mean, they got nerfed, they're fine now, they're not really that OP, but oh well. People have different opinions, and that's okay. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video with the start of the storyline for Season 7. A massive alien mothership and many sources invaded the island, and us as the player are really suspicious of it all, so we go ask our good friend Bunker Jonesy about what's going on. He's smart, and he'll probably know what's up. We've figured things like this out with him before, he should know. He tells us he's theorized exactly how the aliens got here, but he'll only tell us if we give him some imagined order tech for him to study on. We agree, we sneak into the complex, steal the tech, hand it over to our friend, and then he spills the truth. He shows us his conspiracy board, which has a pinpointed alien photo at the top. It has a blue line linked to it, and that's important, so keep that in mind. That same coloured line was also linked to a UFO drawing on the board. So we can safely assume that when the blue lines are linked to something, it has to do with the aliens. The aliens' original Abductor Season 6 beams were blue, and abductors for the Mothership minigame didn't exist in Week 1 or this time of the season, so yeah, if there's a blue line linked to it, it's linked to the aliens. Cool? Got you. Some more items with this line attached to it included an angle diagram, another planet, and a photo of Cuddle Team Leader. That's right, I assume the angle is studying the mothership's size, I assume the other planet is just saying that the aliens aren't from our world, and the photo of Cuddle Team Leader likely means that she is the reason or one of the reasons that the aliens are here. This all pieces together. When the Foundation sacrificed himself in the Zero Crisis finale event, his main goal was to send everyone back to a point in time where the loop still existed, but it wasn't very advanced. That way people could escape just easily. If he found a time where the loop didn't exist, everyone who had ever visited the island would be wiped from the universe. That would be really bad. So instead, he found a time where the island was still in a primal state and nothing was advanced. This time was a point at the Chapter 2 island before players were even on it, so no one's memory needed to be wiped and everyone could talk. The Foundation did this so that the players would still have to rediscover how to escape the loop, but not until they actually escaped into the normal island. They wouldn't have to be limited to only 22 minutes. There was no limit anymore. He'd done it, and then the escapists got to work. Once they figured out how to escape the loop, they had left it, but they were still on the island as the Foundation had planned, and this is the area where they could talk and remember things. Good one, buddy. You really did it good. Thank you so much. They were still on an island, but it just wasn't looped. If you died here, that was it. You're done. So then they opened the crack from within the loop, and the islanders outside of the loop went through it to find a whole other reality. They had escaped the island and found the only other world, the last reality. The only one we saw in this world was Cuddle Team Leader, so that was the alien world. It all makes sense now. I mean, there's alien logos there too, and the Sevens logo, so it makes a whole lot of sense. And then, once she left with all of her armor and stuff, they followed her back to Fortnite. She caused it. They followed her because we explored their world, and they didn't want us to. They want to be the last reality, and Bunker Jonesy was right. The IO have now noticed us talking to Bunker Jonesy and discovering the truth of the aliens' real arrival. And they realized that we could be very, very knowledgeable about who could have actually contacted the aliens in the Order, and who could possibly be a traitor. That's right, the IO has a mole, my friends. So to deal with it, Sloan recruits the player, or us, and sends us on our first mission to find a member of the Imagined Order that has actually been on the alien side the whole time. I mean, I thought we hated the IO, but they convinced us that, you know, the aliens are a bigger force than both of us. We might have been enemies before, but we can work together. Just like what Sloan and Jonesy and the Foundation actually betrayed the Order. Well, not Sloan betraying the Order, of course that would never happen, but you get what I'm saying. Basically, we're not enemies anymore because we need to fight the bigger enemy. The war between us two will probably continue after, if the mothership leaves. I mean, it might still be important in Season 8, we're not sure, but let's get back to the story. We were ordered to enter the alien party at Believer Beach and find the traitor there. We found Jules and Midas, so we began to keep an eye on the mother of the family, Marigold, since she was working in the IO's barracks. We were really onto something now. Soon after, the aliens began experimenting on players by abducting them and forcing them to fight each other, sort of creating their own loop, just like the imagined Order, to study the island's mechanics. And they had learnt a lot. They'd figured out that the loop was a very powerful existence on the island, and they needed to get a closer look at the map itself if they wanted to figure everything out. That's why they made themselves at home and took over Holly Hedges completely, turning it into the Holly Hatchery. After this raid of a homely location, alien believers began to become scared and terrified of these other species, and now it was clear, they were not friendly at all. Then the aliens got their IO double agent to steal looped memories of old Snapshot's worlds so that they could visit the old islanders' worlds and find out how they could bring all their people over to the Fortnite Island through the rifts, through the reality tethering. Basically, they want to see where people come from so they can kill them and send them back to where they came from so they can be the only ones left. I mean, it's a pretty evil plan, but then they could become the lords of the island. They wanted the loopers and the IO gone. They wanted to be the last reality. And fun fact, that's actually why the Rift Tour even took place, because we went to other worlds, other realities. They needed to study where people came from, so yeah, that's a fun little fact if you didn't know that. But anyways, moving on. Due to the aliens now knowing more than they ever should have about the loop, the IO continued its hunt for the traitor. The only suspect as of now was Marigold, and it couldn't just be her. I mean, surely it's more than one person, or maybe not even her, maybe just one person but not her. They had barely any evidence. They need to compare more IO and actually visit the bases themselves to see the agents and see if they were actually trying to do something and they were actually up to something. I mean, maybe it wasn't Marigold. Maybe they were completely disgusted by everything that she had thought because maybe she was misunderstood. We're not sure, but let's go to the people in the IO bases to see what they have to say about this traitor situation. Rick didn't care, but that's just what Rick is like. Rook mentioned that she didn't have anything to prove, and Maven commented on how the IO agent death rate was increasing. How would she know? Was she trying to kill them? Since the aliens were also assumed to be wanting to kill us, Maven was now a suspect along with Marigold, and then it was those two. The Order just needed to see who it was, but how? They put it aside and thought very hard about it all. They were just about to set up a traitor elimination program for the Order's benefit when Sleepy Swamp was frickin' abducted and ripped into the mothership. As the IO weren't expecting entire points of interest to completely leave their island, they were shocked and they delayed their project to study the abduction. Then, Sleepy was gone. Fully into the mothership, it had disappeared. The IO were really confused. That is why they sent in Superman into the loop to fight the aliens, but they didn't trust him too much. That's why they removed his memory, so now all their issues were out of the way, except for the traitor. The Order waited for the next abduction process to start, so they could start this program when the aliens were distracted. When the mothership settled above Coral, the program was finished up, and Operation Imposters was put right into play. It was a game mode where agents worked together to get rid of the IO's traitors, but from doing this they discovered that Jones was a leading cause to this whole betrayal, but they still hadn't found the main double agent alongside him. It was either Marigold or Maven who was working with the aliens. They couldn't find out who though. They did find out something big otherwise. The traitor had leaked their plan to defeat the aliens, so they started a plan B of building a bomb in Corny Complex and blowing up the mothership with it. Once we helped the Order build the bomb, the complex was abducted and someone was caught trying to activate the explosive device earlier than was planned. It was Maven. She was the traitor. We were ordered to confront her, but sadly, we got no info. It is okay though, because the mothership will abduct the bombs and get destroyed. We'll try our best to win, but they're stronger than this. And this is my last video until the Season 7 Skyfire event stream. Until then, stay safe from all the aliens and abductions and motherships, and I really hope we don't die and get destroyed, but man, it's a really tough time. I don't know what's going to happen, but get ready for the first original storyline event since over a year ago. It's going to be great, and I'll see you all on Sunday. Peace out.